It's time for Captain
Season 2. Initiating launch sequence.
These are the adventures of Captain Radio! Our heroes are on a collision course with destiny. In the single-minded pursuit of his mentor, Magnus Hostilian, Captain Radio steers his space zeppelin into the uncharted abyss of the Velorum Expanse, hoping to find the man who inspired him to defend the galaxy. But he is unwittingly placing himself in the crosshairs of a galaxy-spanning race for fame, fortune, and power, one with deadly consequences. You're listening to Captain Radio and the Curse of the Primordial Planet, Chapter 2, The Lighthouse. Following the star map unearthed on Rigel Station, Captain Radio, Andromeda, Ace, and Orion rocket deep into unknown space.
I'm telling you, if it were me, I wouldn't go near those colliding neutron stars.
But we've already searched the only planets within 3 parsecs of here, and he can't have made it any farther than that.
That's why it's time to check the lighthouse.
We've been over this. There isn't any lighthouse.
It's right here on the map.
A map that we know to be a forgery.
This region is completely uninhabited, Orion. Why would anyone build a lighthouse in the middle of nowhere?
It'll only take a day to find out. I've got a good feeling about this.
Orion is right. I can't explain it, but all my instincts say we need to go there.
Fine. We'll have a look. But I still think some long-dead cartographer is playing a practical joke on us.
Sir, we have already expended more than half of our fuel. We are also consuming oxygen at a higher rate than anticipated. Cause unknown.
I know, Ace, but we may never be this close to catching up with Magnus again. We've got to take the chance.
May I ask why you are so determined to find him?
Magnus taught me everything I know. He looked out for me. When he died, it was like losing a father. If it's true that he's alive and he's been wandering the stars all this time, then I should be the one to bring him home.
What if he does not wish to return to Alpha Centauri? Perhaps there is a reason he stayed away.
That may be so, but it won't stop me from trying. He's always come after me when I got lost. It's time I return the favor. Set a course for the Pulsar Lighthouse.
Yes, sir.
Are you feeling better, Andromeda?
A little. Getting away from the battlefield helped, but something still isn't right. I keep getting flashes of thoughts and emotions that don't belong to me.
Where are they coming from?
I think some of them are coming from Magnus. They're impressions in the fabric of reality, like ripples in the wake of a passing ship.
Can you tell which way he's gone?
No, it isn't that concrete. But I can tell he's desperate.
Try to rest. We'll be at the lighthouse soon. And if he isn't there, we'll have no choice but to turn back.
I do hope we find him, you know.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry I dragged you all the way out here.
You know I wouldn't have it any other way.
All the same, I don't want you to feel obligated to... I mean, if you'd prefer to go home and lead a more normal life, I would understand.
Are you trying to send me away?
Never. But after what happened on Gemini 4, I want you to know that...
Proximity alert. Lighthouse directly ahead.
Already? How can that be?
Seems your map is even less reliable than I thought, Orion.
Out the window, they glimpse the crumbling ruins of a navigational beacon, perched atop a lonely asteroid. The structure is thousands of years old, scarred and eroded by the ravages of time and the solar winds.
Well, I don't want to say I told you so, but...
You can gloat all you want later. Andromeda, take the wheel and see if you can find a safe place to set down. I'll help Orion with the mooring lines.
They circle the lighthouse several times before landing the space zeppelin in a field of ice crystals near the base of the tower. Carefully, they pick their way across the shipwreck-strewn surface of the asteroid, where they discover a partially collapsed doorway.
Everybody watch your step. One false move can bring these walls crashing down on top of us.
Xavier, we aren't alone.
Is it Magnus?
I'm not sure.
Scanning. No life forms detected.
Your instruments aren't going to work here, Ace. Look at all the comet ice they used to build this thing. Any reading will be reflected off 100 surfaces before you can register it.
Remember that good feeling I had earlier? It's gone.
Xavier, I think we should leave.
Nonsense! We just got here!
I don't think you're going to like what you find in there.
You all wait here. I'll be right back.
Captain Radio draws his ray gun from his holster, ready for any danger, and disappears down the dark passageway.
What is it, Orion?
You see that symbol above the door? It's a Taurian death mark. My people use it to warn each other of danger.
What kind of danger?
Something terrible happened here, a massacre maybe, or a plague, but usually the death mark signals that a place is haunted by evil spirits.
I thought you did not believe in superstitions.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to change my mind.
We've got to get out of here. Xavier!
Not so fast, love. Turn around slowly and keep your hands where I can see them.
Andromeda, Ace, and Orion turn to find themselves staring down the sights of a long-barreled ray gun. The man with the gun scans them with a cybernetic eye implant.
Please identify yourself.
Pollux von Luna, soldier of fortune and man of many talents.
The Pollux von Luna?
Where's your friend? The one wearing the mask.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just the three of us. We're ice prospectors from Vespa Majorum.
Ha! Ice miners. You're a clever one, Lady Andromeda, I'll give you that. But your indiscreet companions gave you away on Rigel's spaceport. I've been trailing you ever since. Even hitched a ride on your cushy space zeppelin without any of you noticing. Now, be a good girl and tell me where Captain Radio is.
What's it to you?
He went into the lighthouse, didn't he? Didn't you see the Taurian death mark over the door?
Captain Radio will be back at any moment. If you attempt to injure any of us, there will be consequences.
I'm terrified. But Captain Radio can't help you now. Single file, hands on your heads. Into the lighthouse we go. No funny business. I'm not above shedding a little innocent blood.
What's inside?
Certain death for some, but others, riches beyond your wildest dreams. At least, that's what the legend says. Shall we find out together?
Meanwhile, Captain Radio searches the inner chamber for any sign of Magnus. High above, wreathed in shadow, an immense cobweb-covered transmitter dish hangs precariously from the ceiling.
Magnus! Can you hear me? Magnus!
Mayday. Mayday. This is Magnus Hostilian transmitting on an emergency frequency.
The signal. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can save Mayday. Mayday. This is Magnus Hostilian transmitting on an emergency frequency.
What in all the stars is happening?
Disorienting, isn't it? All those voices.
Who goes there? Show yourself!
Heavens me, I didn't mean to startle you. Why don't you put that ray gun of yours away before someone gets hurt?
From the darkened corner of the room steps a small figure, a white-haired woman of aristocratic bearing. She wears a floor-length ball gown, a pitch helmet, and a knowing grin. Captain Radio lowers his weapon slightly.
What exactly is going on here?
Don't you worry, all your questions will be answered in due time. But where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. Regina Celesta, archaeologist and antiquarian. You may be familiar with my work to excavate the Sargassian necropolis.
I can't say that I am.
Maybe you read my book on the ancient civilizations of the Pleiades then.
Celesta? As in the Celesta Industries? The company that makes astro compasses?
Why, yes, my granddaddy did invent the astro compass, but I don't like to make a fuss about all that.
Madame Celesta is being too modest. Don't let her fool you with that sweet old lady act, mate. She's the most ruthless robber baron the galaxy has ever seen.
Pollux von Luna steps into a shaft of light with Orion, Andromeda, and Ace beside him. His laser rifle is slung over his shoulder and he holds a blinking explosive device in the palm of his hand.
Now, if you'll be so kind as to step away from the matter transmitter before I blow this place to kingdom come.
Don't touch that dial! Captain Radio and the Curse of the Primordial Planet will return after this brief word from our sponsor.
Imagine a world where your entire music library, dozens of records holding hundreds of songs, follows you wherever you go. Introducing the Victrola Pocket Phonograph, a revolution in music enjoyment. With a pocket phonograph, you're no longer tied to your living room set, or subject to the whims of radio disc jockeys. Easily pick up a stack of our miniaturized 2-inch records perfectly sized for on-the-go listening, and hit the road. Hundreds of songs in your pocket. What will you listen to? Available now from your local record store.
We now return to the adventures of Captain Radio. Deep in uncharted space, inside an ancient lighthouse, our heroes are caught in the crossfire between two rivals.
Pollux, dear, I thought I shook you off my scent back in the Scorpius constellation.
Can't get rid of me that easy. Though it would seem I'm the least of your worries. Magnus is still one step ahead of you. Plus, there's the curse to worry about.
There is no curse.
Hang on, there's a curse too? That's it, I'm out.
What does this have to do with Magnus?
Poor old Magnus. He's trying to steal something that belongs to me.
It belongs to whoever finds it first, Madame Celesta. Just because you own the Big Dipper, don't mean you can automatically lay claim to the rest of the universe.
Well, bless your heart. You really think you're going to reach it first, don't you? I admire your tenacity, Pollux, but I question your intelligence. You've been warned about getting in my way.
What's another scar between friends, eh?
Look, you two clearly have a lot of catching up to do. We'll just show ourselves out.
Leaving so soon? But this party's just getting started.
You really should stay. I could take you to Magnus.
She's lying. She has no interest in helping us.
Come now, we're all on the same side here.
I do not believe our motives are the same.
Oh, but they are, my mechanical friend. That's why I've brought you here.
Nobody brought us here. We're following Magnus's distress call.
As am I. But I needed to make sure you made it here, just in case Magnus insists on being unreasonable.
You sent the assassin on Gemini 4. Why?
Captain Radio has a reputation as a man who runs towards danger rather than away from it. I reckoned you were close to giving up, so I sweetened the pot. Quincy always said I had a flair for the dramatic.
If you wanted my help, you could have just asked.
And deprive you of the satisfaction of solving my little puzzle? I wouldn't dream of it. Did Enigma give you the coordinates?
Affirmative.
That robot is ever so helpful.
You've played us from the start, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for us to follow.
I don't know what game Magnus is playing with his little signal, but I'm not taking any chances. That's why you're coming with me.
I don't think so.
Magnus is on a planet at the edge of the galaxy. It would take your ship years to get there. But I know a shortcut. Unless Pollux decides to blow it to kingdom come, that is.
It don't have to come to that. Just step aside and let me access the controls.
Oh, I didn't know you read the Sargassian hieroglyphics.
How odd can it be?
The language is stunningly complex. I'm the foremost expert in the known universe, and it took me 2 years to decipher the name of one of their gods. Without me, you'll wind up scattering your molecules across the entire system.
You're sure Magnus is on this planet?
Hang on. Are you actually suggesting we listen to her? Please tell me that's not what you're saying.
Isn't it obvious? This is a trap.
Of course it is. But if there's even a chance she's telling the truth, I have to take that risk, even if that means going on alone.
Inadvisable.
Why would he suddenly want to go to the edge of the galaxy? It doesn't make sense.
I have been known to stretch the truth at times, but believe me when I say that Magnus Hostilian's life is in jeopardy.
No. I am not getting dragged into another harebrained rescue attempt.
Can you guarantee my friend's safety?
In my experience, there is no such thing as safety. The universe is a dangerous place.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm sure.
Then we'll share the risk.
Agreed.
Fine, I'll do it, but only because you'd be hopelessly lost without me. Though I still think this is a terrible idea, which will get us all killed.
What do you say, Pollux, dear? How about you put that fractal detonator away?
On one condition. You take me with you.
You leave me no choice.
And no tricks, eh? No dropping me on some barren rock halfway to nowhere. All the way to Farallon. Or I'll use this. You know I will.
All the way to Farallon. You have my word.
What are we waiting for? Magnus may already have the artifact.
Don't get your spacesuit in a twist. We are on our way. I took the liberty of warming up the matter transmitter before you arrived. They built it to last, but it takes a while to kick in after sitting cold for 7,000 years.
I can't feel my legs.
That's perfectly normal.
Come on. The universe ain't getting any younger.
Patience is a virtue, Pollux. The lithostar has waited centuries for someone who knows how to use it properly. Can you feel that? That little rush of endorphins? Like a cold glass of hyper lemonade on a hot summer's day.
We appear to be enveloped in a cascading graviton field.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Here goes nothing.
3, 2, 1.
With a clap of thunder and a flash of light, the matter transmitter engages, whisking our heroes to the very edge of the galaxy and depositing them on a strange world. From the darkness and chill of the lighthouse, they find themselves in a steaming jungle under the bright glare of an emerald green sun.
My friends, welcome to Farallon, legendary resting place of the most powerful artifact in the history of the universe.
You've been listening to the adventures of Captain Radio. What is the fabled artifact that Madame Celeste, Pollux Van Luna, and Magnus Hostilian are searching for? Can our heroes survive the perils of this wild and unforgiving planet? Find out next week in the exciting third chapter of Captain Radio and the Curse of the Primordial Planet, brought to you by the Victoria Pocket Phonograph.
The Adventures of Captain Radio is a production of Obscure Studios. This episode was written by Jonny Eberle and produced by Will McDonald. Our main cast includes William McDonald as the narrator, William McDonald as Captain Radio, Christian Carvajal as Orion, DeLano Hays as Ace, Abigail Stokley as Andromeda, Laura Burt as Madame Celeste, Jonny Eberle as Pollux Van Luna. Jonny Eberle also played the ad announcer. Our theme music was composed by Simon Cunningham, and our stunning artwork was designed by Tammy King. If you like this show, there are 3 simple things you can do to support us. The easiest thing to do is to leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening right now. You can also make a donation on our Ko-Fi page. Or you can buy Captain Radio merch like t-shirts, stickers, coffee mugs, phone cases, and more at TeePublic Store. You can find all of those links as well as the complete episode transcriptions and more information on our website, obscurestudios.net. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.